Hello, what's up, and what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to today's video with me, Kimberly, one part of the Prat Pack, and I hope you have all had a fantastic weekend. It has been really hot here. Like, it's not supposed to be in the 90s yet, but it is. So I'm staying inside again, where it is nice and air conditioned. And I wanted to talk to you guys. We have all by now seen this formula shortage. And that brings me to a story that I want to share with you guys. I've been seeing comments and people saying things that just doesn't make any sense to me, and it's not right. And I feel like some people just don't have an idea of what exactly they're talking about sometimes. A while back, I shared the story of Lily's birth. First child, excitement, what all happened, cesarean, emergency, all of that good stuff. But I never got around to telling Eliza's. And part of the reason for that is because I never really wanted to scare anybody. I don't want to give misinformation. I don't want to confuse anybody because not everybody is the same. Not two pregnancies. My two pregnancies were not the same. So I just didn't want to scare anybody. But this is what happened. When I first found out I was pregnant with Lily, the doctor that I saw seemed pretty concerned. I have a lot of allergies. I have asthma. I have mental issues. And this doctor that I saw pretty much had me convinced that I would pass any and all of my ailments through my breast milk to Lily. So that really scared me. So when Lily was born, I didn't even attempt to breastfeed her. I just did formula. And that ended up being its whole other issue. And I'm pretty sure I told that in her birth story. I'm not exactly positive if I didn't. She had allergies to the milk. We ended up on a really expensive formula. It was called Nutramigen, and it only lasted about 2.5 days, and it was costing us about $30 for a can. So it was really expensive to feed her. So when I got pregnant with Eliza, obviously my OB, everyone I saw, were really pushing breastfeeding. It's the best option. It's got natural medicines, the colostrum. It's really the healthiest and best option for your baby. So I was determined. I was set. I was going to breastfeed Eliza. This was going to be it. I mean, how could I fail? I have giant boobs. Like, I can fit milk for years up in these. So I'm thinking it's not going to be that big of a deal. I'm like, okay, I can do this. This is what happened. So I go to the hospital to have Eliza. She is a VBAC, which stands for vaginal birth after cesarean. Only certain doctors specialize in having a vaginal birth after you've had a cesarean because it's really dangerous. You have scar tissue. There's a lot going on. So it's more dangerous to have it that way afterwards. So most OBs will recommend having a cesarean after a previous cesarean. So I go into the hospital feeling nervous and anxious, excited. I had already had what appeared to be clear liquid coming out, and I'm like, okay, this is working. Like, my body's gearing up. It's gonna do it. I'm so excited. I have my baby. I didn't seem to have any issue getting her to latch on. I had the lactation specialist came in. They showed me how to hold her, the different ways to prop her, how to get her to latch on. That wasn't an issue. I could feel the suction. I knew she was on there right, but I just felt like something was wrong. I felt like I still felt full after feeding her. Like, I just felt like something wasn't working. Something wasn't right. My chest was hurting. And I just had this bad feeling. And I kept expressing to them, I don't think anything is coming out. I would squeeze and nothing seems to be coming out. They keep reassuring me, it's fine, it's coming out. It's just her suction is different than the way you're trying to express it. So you just can't see it as well. And I just had this bad feeling. So I'm in the hospital for days. And on my last day, I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to feed her. And she wasn't responsive. I pulled, she was in her bassinet. I'm in the hospital bed and she's next to me. I pull her bassinet over to me and she doesn't move. No wiggle, no nothing. Okay. whatever. I go to scoop her up out of the bassinet. No, nothing. She doesn't make any noise. She's not crying. No opening her eyes. No nothing. So I'm getting concerned. I know I need to feed her. I need to wake her up. So I put her down in the bed with me and I'm undressing her and she's not responding to me. So I'm taking my fingernails and I'm tickling the bottom of her foot. She's not responding to me. So I pick her up and I'm cradling her and I'm rubbing her face and messing with her mouth, you know, pulling her jaw down, all different things that they had told me and things that I knew how to wake Lily up when I needed to feed her. Obviously this is different because I need Eliza to wake up and actually latch to me. It's not like I can just stick it, you know, it's this whole thing. So I'm cradling her and I'm trying to get her to latch. I'm moving her lips, and nothing. She's not doing anything. And at this point, I'm scared. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm alone in this hospital room with a brand new baby, and she's not responding. And I don't know what to do. I'm scared. So I lean over on my bed and I hit the call button for a nurse. It didn't take long. They came right in the room. My room was right next to the nurse's station. So she comes in. She's very cheerful and she's, "Hi, good morning. I came in, you were asleep." "Yeah, okay, great." I can't wake her up. And I'm in panic mode. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to feed her. She's not waking up. She's like, "Oh, she's probably just a tired little thing." So she takes Eliza out of my hands and she's holding her like this. So Eliza's head is in her hand and her butt's down here and she's looking at her and she's trying to talk to her and she takes like her finger and she's doing what I did. She's scraping the bottom of Eliza's foot and then she just has this look on her face. She leaps across my bed, I'll never forget the sound of her palm hitting that emergency button on my bed. But next thing I know, I hear doctors being paged for emergency and I hear my room number. There's a light outside of my door that's flashing a blue light and I just keep hearing these emergency calls to my room and I panic. She turns, she sits her in the bassinet and I start crying. I'm hysterical. What's wrong with her? Is she okay? And I feel like they're trying to reassure me, but their main focus is on the baby, right? Like their main focus is on making sure that she's okay. All of a sudden, my room is full with these people. There are nurses, there's doctors, and this doctor is over at Eliza and he takes out this, it looked like a scalpel, but he takes out this little knife looking thing and he scrapes it like hard, like I could see the color change on the bottom of her foot. And he scrapes her and then he just scoops her up. He doesn't say anything. And he ran out the room with my baby. Hold on. I was so scared, y'all. I was so scared. I didn't know what was wrong with her. Nobody was telling me anything. Nobody was telling me anything. And I was so frustrated. I was getting so mad. It seemed like forever. But in reality, probably wasn't really that long. The lights stopped flashing. And this doctor comes walking back in the room with Eliza. And he's got a bottle in her mouth. She had no calories. She had no calories in her system because I wasn't producing breast milk. The whole time I kept telling them, it's not coming through. It's not working. And they kept reassuring me, oh, it's fine. She's eating. She's getting it. It wasn't working. Nothing was coming through. My baby hadn't eaten in days. Days. my brand new baby was starving. All because I felt so guilty for giving formula instead of breast milk. Like, so stupid. So they bring me Eliza. And they hand her to me. And she's sucking. She's just sucking away. And they hand her to me. I got my hand under her little butt. Put her in my arms. And I was like, "Hi, baby. Mommy's so sorry." And when I said that, my hand is cupping her little booty. And she lets out the loudest, nastiest sounding poop I have ever heard. It sounded so wet. It's so disgusting. But she let out the most disgusting, vile poop I've ever heard from a beautiful little creature. And when that happened, she opened her eyes and she looked at me.